Bear, 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 bear. Bear, 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 bear. Bear, bear, dear, dear. Bear, bear, dear, 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 boom, bear, blah, blah, bling. All right, so I haven't touched the Laughin and Lyin area, and I've been dying to get to it. And I have to be a little bit quiet because this is late at night. But I'm gonna go to it, and then we'll see. I don't know how long it is. I'll try to breeze through it if it's going to be really long. Oh, by the way, this artwork here that someone just posted, that is awesome. That is Rulad on the throne. Wow, that is so awesome. Okay, let's go to Laughin and Lyin. And I also, where did my bone hunters go? Dang it, I don't know where bone hunters is. Oh, I looked at the whole thing. It's right there. Okay. Bone hunters. I will also go into the first pages of this book, at least the dramatis personae, because I still don't know what this is going to be about. I don't know if this is in a new place. I don't know if this is going to get to Genebacus, or if this is continuing on with the stuff on Seven Cities and things like that, or if this is more with Rulad and whatnot. But I'm excited. Okay, Laughin and Lyin. Welcome to Midnight Tides, Laughin and Lyin. And I'm going to, after I do this, I'm going to close it out. Or I was thinking of maybe doing a new Laughin and Lyin channel on here. I might just put a picture or something that says, now this is Bone Hunters, so that I don't have to have a whole bunch of things. Okay, here you go. I made you a place for Laughin and Lyin. I won't check in until I'm done with Midnight Tides. Okay, Matt's Fantasy Book Review. And thank you for having this this area for me. I'll start. I absolutely love Dan saying this. Sounds like this younger brother, Rulad, he kind of badmouths Trull, which, yeah, it's interesting because at first it seemed like they were fine, but it sounds like he wants to get his butt kicked by one of his older brothers, and that'll like make him bloodied. I don't know. I don't understand that, which is fine because eventually it'll come. Okay. They have a task. So, yeah. I mean, I knew that it seemed like he was wanting to get his butt kicked, and I thought eventually he'd get his butt kicked. He's the younger brother. He's instigating this younger brother who is unbloodied, and yeah, how right I was about that. But I'm gonna have this Rulad watch, this Rulad death watch as we go through this. That's hilarious. I did think about that as I was going through, thinking I think I said exactly this. So that's funny. It seems like his younger brother Rulad, he kind of badmouths Trull. It sounds like he wants to get his butt kicked by one of the brothers. Maybe that will get him bloodied. I don't know. I don't understand that, which is fine, but it'll eventually come. I can't wait for him to see when Rulad comes to power. I don't know when I started to think that was about to happen. I think it was the moment where he grabbed this sword, and there was a lot to do about that. And I thought, uh-oh, this is the one that Hanan Mosag wants. Sounds like this younger brother, which I thought it was going to be Trull, maybe, coming to power, or Fear. But, man, I love that too. So excited for the reaction here. Yeah, that's awesome. Would you add Memories of Ice under Dan's channel, or the babies can just put our yammers in general chat. Oh yeah, this is someone who hasn't gotten to this point yet. Dan has access to everything now, however he sees fit. Okay, thank you. Okay. Roulette, is that you? Was that a fat cat? You know, when I was when I was considering the live stream for the end of this, I thought, how can I glue a whole bunch of coins to me? And I thought against it because, you know, I've used super glue and stuff and thought this would be potentially awful having all these little red marks all over. But I was considering it for you guys. So I will say that. That's awesome. And that is a big fat cat. Guys, wow, I went my entire first read through the series and my second read through up to where I am now, Reaper's Gale, thinking Osric was Father Light. And Dan's video just made me realize that Osric is just like the Leosin version of Animander. My mind is absolutely blown, and I am not sure how I missed this entirely before this video in an initial read through and then my second read through as well. You know what? That point with Father Light, that was actually I decided to go to the PowerPoint, and I kind of regretted doing that because I sort of it kind of mentions this. We get to Osric and we get to Leoric, and then it sort of made this connection for me, even though I didn't think he was Father Light. I thought he was more like the son of Father Light, or like there was a grandfather. Anyway, yeah, it is cool that he's kind of like the same sort of thing. But I thought it was more that Father Light was one level up, or what am I thinking? Man, it doesn't matter. But that is cool. That is cool. Yeah, for real. Huh? Also, you should read Forge of Darkness. I'm reading it now for the first time, and it is absolutely incredible. I don't know which one that is, but we'll get there. I will be once I finish this read through the main 10. I plan to read Esselmont's books as well as Forge of Darkness and the others. In all ways, including the lore. Okay. Is there a recommended reading order? Okay. It's fine that this is on here as well, just so you know. But I'll skip some of this stuff. Okay. I find it really interesting that the Andi get 3 founding brothers in Rake, Andarist and Ruin. And it seems like the Edur only have Scabandari, and the Leosin only have Osric. Maybe there's something I will find out more about this once I read the Carcanis through. I'm not far enough to say definitively, but my guess is yes. We might not get a direct answer to that specific query. Okay. FYI, I only finished Midnight Tides, so I don't know if I am right. But I assume that the aerosol goddess that travels time is the same woman who was suggested to have raped Trull at the end of House of Chains. Yeah, the goddess aerosol. So I've been thinking that as well. Like this lady or this person keeps popping up in places, and I'm not sure if that means travels time or just is kind of this type that like Icarium, which maybe he travels time too. But this aerosol person keeps showing up, just like Icarium keeps having these sightings amongst the Edur, meaning that Tull technically fathered the Narek. Right, because they believe to come from aerosol. I'd have to go back. And see. I was wondering if Dan was going to pick up the mention of time traveling Eris. Okay. The The first part sounds right, but I'm not sure about where the idea of Troll fathering the Narek is coming from. Because the Narek are just another tribe, but I don't think they are like the Edur. I mean, maybe. I'll keep that. I'll keep an open mind about that. The first part's okay. Yo, Dan's new video, Idiot Brother. He wonders if Midnight okay, if Rulad will come back to life with a sword. Right. Thought that right away. Has he read this before, or is he just that smart? Well, thank you, but that was just a lucky guess. Or is it obvious and I'm dumb? I'm the dumb one for seeing it the first time. I think the reason I thought that is because there was a big deal made. That Hanan Mosig wanted it. He wanted to be the only one to touch that thing. Meaning I figured it would fuse or something would happen, like it the first person to touch it, it would kind of be theirs now, like bound to them. So I figured since he touched it, that has to mean something, that Rulad isn't done yet. Mostly joking. Okay. I was so oblivious to that part, and I was shocked to see him come back to life. What I'm more curious about is when will Dan start to suspect something is off with Bug? I'm so mad about that still, because I knew something was up, especially when he pokes the Image's eyes. I thought he was just very smart and very observant and just this absolute pro. Dang it. Me too. That's why I'm like, wait, Dan. Shh. I feel like pretty much everyone knows something is off with Bug by maybe halfway through the book. I feel like you get a lot of hints that he has power. Dang it. I just thought he was smart. The question is where that power comes from. I mean, that power starts to really develop. And if Dan guesses that, then I may have to seriously consider my life choices. Well, I guess you don't, because I didn't guess that until it was quite implicit about who he was. Well, it is suggested in one of the epigraphs, if I remember. I think Dan pondered over this, over in his prologue video. The soul within it yearns to kill. Okay, we're going back to Rulad. He who grasps that spear will know death. Again and again, he shall know death. I can't remember. I can't remember if I pondered this or not. You might be right, but I don't really go back and check. But you might be right about that. I mean, I knew something was up with this sword. Yeah, there's that. And if you don't look back at that, it's not going to pop on most people's minds. And he didn't cite that epigraph as being part of the reasoning. But who knows? Maybe he did internalize that, and that's why he had this guess. Of course, there is the name drop in Memories of Ice, but I doubt Dan remembers that. Is there a name drop of Rulad? Is that the name drop you're meaning there? I don't know. I doubt so also. Laughin and Lyin. See, right here. Dang. I feel like everyone is just waiting for Dan to read the scene. Well, what the heck is the scene? Absolutely. That's why I keep telling him, keep reading, please keep reading, keep going. So at this point, this is probably when I did the Stupid Idiot Brother videos and was mad that he got himself killed. And the scene probably when he's talking with the crippled god, right? Also, Dan is going to make so many 40-minute videos with some of the quotes in this book. Oh, man, I really could have. I had to force myself not to. When I was going through Memories of Ice, all of those first videos were at least about 40 minutes long. I just couldn't help myself. I was going through everything, and I did like that, and I might still do some of that as they come up because those are the things that really did impact me. But I didn't know. I committed to doing that kind of podcast form for the first one, and I'm trying to find a balance. But I don't want to do anything that isn't that. I don't want to force anything on here. Probably Midnight Tides is incredibly quotable. That's right. There are lots of hints throughout Midnight Tides that regarding Bug's identity. If you know it, those will jump out to you on a reread and feel obvious. Yeah, I'm sure. Even if you think that he is someone and read carefully, you can pick it up. Yeah. When I was reading, I was using the Tor reread. So I haven't used that yet. So people were hinting that Bug may be someone. In one of the very ordinary descriptions, Bill said that pay attention to this line, and I just got it. After that, it was amazing. Yeah, I wish I would have got it earlier on. I think it would have been really, really cool. And any other book would have told you about his identity in the end of Act 1. That would have been the big end Act 1 reveal. And then we would have got this amazing kind of, we're seeing what he can do for the next two things. But Steven Erikson doesn't do that. He keeps things close to the chest. He reveals things at the end, if you haven't already got it. And then that makes the reread awesome, I'm sure. But any other author wouldn't have had the guts to keep that for the very end. They would have wanted to front load it and have it in the first end of the first act, which is fine too, because it's just a different way of doing it. Oh, wow, nice. Agree on the hints. To me, and I think most people, they're only obvious on a reread. But someone who's really looking for it can get it on the first read. And Dan is really looking, so I guess he should be get ready for that. Yeah, I think if I would have kept my pen and my highlighter going for the first or for the second half of the book, I may have picked up on some of the really specific things that Steven Erikson has planted. In the other books, he reuses words to kind of get your mind kind of directed into a certain area, and he definitely did do that. When they were talking about Bug, they used all this water language and things. But as I was just quickly reading through it, I wasn't allowing myself to really stop and think about some of those moments. Maybe if I was doing this the same way that I did Memories of Ice, that would have happened. Where am I? Another Laughin and Lyin. This guy might be the king Laughin liar. Okay. By the way, this section can be full Midnight Tides spoilers, right? We shouldn't be. Yeah. Frankly, I don't think we need spoiler tags. Oh, well, jinx. If for some reason we want to reference something to. Okay. Oh, yeah. We have the full series Laughin and Lyin stuff. I've been confused by other people's use of spoiler tags, too. So I'm just clarifying. Matt's fantasy book review. Do you agree with the above? Just so we're on the same page. Just try your best. I don't care if any of this stuff is spoiler in the Laughin and Lyin areas. In some of this other stuff, I do want to make the general chat more kind of friendly for new people. So be aware of that. But if you're caught up to where I am and you don't mind it, I'm not too worried about that. Okay, one of the hilarious hints about Bug was Withel going to pray to Mael at the end of the chapter, and this is when he falls into the river or whatever, right? Saying somebody's calling my name. Next chapter, Bug falls into the river, saying somebody's calling my name. Spoiler tagging until we get comfortable. Okay. Also, it might be good to have pinned messages. Yeah, whatever you guys want, honestly. I think in here it's for people who have already read Midnight Tides. So spoil away. Yeah, that's right. That's right. If you come to this Laughin and Lyin page, you got to be ready for anything, and it's usually for people we've probably read the whole series, but at least keep it to that book that we're on. Perfect. Thanks for confirming, sir. I'm so confused with Dan spoiler tagging himself, since I'd assume everyone would have read Midnight Tides already, and we are the ones trying to not spoil things for him. Yeah, so as I was going at first, whenever I was starting to talk about where I was, I would do it in that kind of that way, and I still should a little bit, just in case people hop on. But yeah, it's a little messy. Yeah, I don't think anyone should need to. Okay, Dan says what he wants, and the rest of us don't talk spoilers. Period. Okay. Probably just being polite. There's one person who is on Memories of Ice who is frequenting that channel, and they mentioned they didn't mind spoilers, but maybe playing it safe. I think for some of the, it's so hard. It's so hard to find the line, because I want to be able to just talk and have everyone be involved with where we're at. Yeah. All right, but okay. Skipping down a little bit. Gotcha. Well, I'm fine taking on that burden. My memory isn't great either, but I did reread the series for the first time, second times last year, and consumed a bunch of content around it constantly, so I can usually answer stuff pretty well. Although with Dan's granular ass questions, you can see that even I have to refer to the wiki pretty often. Yeah, I get stuck in the weeds sometimes, and I miss some of the big things. I know your screen grabs are great. Honestly, super helpful descriptions in the wiki. Kind of grounds the events a little bit, since the word things so simply. They word things so simply. Sorry. They seem helpful for new readers and vets alike. Explained is a bit strong word for it, but yes, Kettle's origins are discussed in Midnight Tides. Okay, let me look at this. As Silchus slowly worked his way free, he spoke with Kettle regularly and showed her visions of other places. The man who she referred to as Uncle told her that she bore the soul of a Forquilla sail, which was not entirely awake. Kettle also recalled that she had once been an adult priestess of the Nameless Ones from 7 cities. She had journeyed to Laughin with 5 Narek witches, who prepared her and the body of a dead girl, to accept the Nameless One's soul. Where is this from? Well, this is from the wiki. She recalled her child body being wrapped for burial, and her other body observing. The witches told her that she had been prepared from birth, and that she was a true child of the Ares. Okay. She was also told that she was the answer to the 7th closure, because she had the blood of kin. In effect, she bore 2 souls, right? Neither of which was the child's original. Ruin promised to one day find her a body of her own. Although there are spoiler words, okay. Thanks, more complicated background than I thought. Wow, sounds like she is made up of a few souls, like Silver Fox or Quick Ben. Right, I figured that. Although she seems pretty grounded. The first time we were going through Silver Fox and finding out all the stuff in her, that just blew my mind. She seems pretty grounded, no pun intended. I guess she has her dark side, but doesn't come out in her personality. Only the killing. All right. And yeah, of course, happy to help. Okay. Some of that from the wiki is past, where Dan is in the book. That's why I brought it over here. Okay. Kettle, Sin. Who's Sin? And some of the other children we get in BOF, whatever that is, are fascinating to me. I was so intrigued that there were these powerful, mysterious, wise, and traumatized kids that had major impacts on the story. Right. It's a very interesting but scary concept. What other fantasy has kids like these in them? I can't think of any. Yeah, the some of the darkest stuff that people go through, uh, it's been children so far. Uh, and yeah, some really powerful voices have been children. Obviously, they have some other things going on, and sometimes they are the shell of a child with mature spirits or whatever. But yeah, I agree. I agree with this. I actually guessed who Bug is, but I was not 100% sure, and I only considered a few suspects mid book, as you said. And I also think it was very a lucky fluke. But the way Dan is reading the books, he has big chance of figuring it out. Man, everyone was cheering me on and thought it was going to happen, and I didn't. Dang, so much stuff written here. Man. Okay, good on you, by the way. I don't know why I get so many Kingdoms of Heaven, the movie vibes from Malazan. Just started Bone Hunters, and Erickson keeps writing. Erickson's writing keeps getting better so much. Man, I'm so bad at reading out loud. Keeps just feeling so much better to read each book. I agree with that too. Are you on your first read? The prose of these is delicious. The fact that it takes a bit of time to get comfortable with it makes it that much better. Just developing an appreciation for a new exotic flavor. All right. This is a big one. The reason I didn't want to even mention the fact that Rulad being tragic or feeling sorry for Rulad in Dan's thread was because at the end of Subbook 2, those things have not yet happened. We start feeling sorry for Rulad once his friendship and dependency on Unidas deepens. Yeah. Once he starts dying and coming back with so much pain, and how Unidas, I said it again, Udinus. And this is the guy that keeps getting triggered by Unidas, I think. Udinus. Helps him, comforts him. Then we start seeing more complex characterization of Rulad. Totally agree. What a great character. When we see Rulad being horrified by Hanan Mosag's way of annihilating armies and stopping him, once he starts forming bond with his brothers again, we see him getting better and hope that he may improve. And that's when they call for Udinus. Then he breaks down when Udinus is unable to be there with him after his death because of Wither and Wyvel, or Wivel, when he thinks Udinus betrayed him and falls back into his ways. That is the tragedy of Rulad. You are so right. You are so right. I think it would be easy to hate Rulad for a lot of people. But man, you are so right about that. Unless we see those parts at the end of book 2, there is very little aspect to Rulad to feel sorry for. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't want Dan to know that he will become a more sympathetic character. At this point, yes, there is that scene where he brings his brothers together and we think, okay, this is going to be the moment where he sends Troll out and they bind him or whatever. And it's actually a soft, it seems like things are starting to maybe, well, you still figure he's going to go off the rails, but it gives you a little flash of heart before it goes off the rails. At this point, we should feel Rulad as despicable just after he has taken Mayan as his wife forcefully. Yeah, I forgot about that part. What a reprehensible moment for Rulad. Just to see the better side of Rulad after this. start to feel sympathetic towards him, and then all crashing down. This is part of the reader's journey. Want Dan to get that without any expectations. Totally agree. Especially with how closely Dan is reading. Small things like that are going to shape the experience for sure. It's easy to forget the host of emotions we feel for a character and usually just remember what we are left with. Yeah, that's very true as well. I know when I was reading Harry Potter with my daughter, I would I made the mistake a couple times being like, "Oh, I love this character," or I love Snape. And she thought, "Well, why would you like this guy?" And I probably should have kept my mouth shut for a couple of the characters that I just love them so much. Okay, Dan will check this channel after reading Midnight Tides. Better not to post any TBH content here. What's TBH? The Bone Hunters? Posted on the full series thread or in. Oh, someone must have. Oh yeah, original message deleted. Or inside the Malazan thread. Okay. Okay. Is it a spoiler to ask Dan if he recognizes the type of demon that Lilac is? Because isn't Lilac the same species as... Okay, I want to guess this. Is Lilac the same... Lilac is not an Aptorian. Who else have we had? Shoot, I don't even know. Pearl. Oh, you know what? I really liked Pearl. This is the first time I'm thinking of Pearl since she left. No, they're different kinds. Just check the wiki to make sure. Hey, Mr. Wiki here. Pearl is Corvala and Lilac is Kenrila. Sound or whatever. Kenilra. Sounds the same to me. Not spoiling, just there's nothing past Midnight Tides here. They're so alike. They both have childlike voices. True, but not as close as Kenrila and Kenilra and Kenrila. What the heck? Is this true? Are there two different species? Is one of them, is this actually or are you making fun of me again? These are all people laughing. So this is actually a thing, or people are laughing at my saying things wrong. Okay, we're actually almost at the end. That's good. So it won't have to go too long. All right. Actually, I saw online some conversation about these, and only then did I realize these were two different words. Oh, are you kidding me? Kenrila. That is just trolling. Usually okay. It's something like, so my brain can't process it anyway. Even now, I can't remember exactly where the apostrophe is in Shaik. Like this, don't know why. I'm so bad at these names. The two of us. We don't have apostrophe in my mother tongue. We do, but it's used extremely rare. Although I have used it extensively in English and French since very early, and somehow in books, they only stay in my mind when I read the word, and then it flies out. Yep, me too. And this is my native language. That is brutal. Erickson in his names sometimes has to be deliberately pulling our nose hairs at times. Some of those names are either way too similar, or he'd just start listing a ton of names that you had no chance of remembering, and one person from the list turns out to be important, but you again had no chance of remembering the name. Oh, you guys don't know? Steve has admitted like this was a typo. Steve has admitted this was a typo. The names weren't supposed to be like that. He just screwed up and it went to print by accident. Is that for real? Man, I can't wait to hear Dan's thoughts on the ending of this book, especially the bug reveal. I mean, it was awesome. I still got there eventually. But man, I wish I would have got there a little earlier. 100%. But also, Bryce attempted to incapacitate Roulad. In last night's video, Dan said something about how maybe Roulad should just get trapped under a rock or something. That's right. I figure you got to incapacitate him somehow, or just trap him somewhere, to incapacitate him. Well, that was a good idea. I thought so too. All right, we're at the end of that. So let me bring this up here. And let me finally, even though I'm not at the end of, oh, come on. Now my thing is laughing and lying at me. Woo. Come on. Now you got to watch me try to make this work. What are your guys' tricks for doing this? Do I have to just get close to that? There. I have an idea. Laughin and Lyin in fuzzy. Ridiculous. Okay. Well, you might have to watch me in fuzz mode, because I don't want to get this close. Come on. Are you kidding me? Okay. Well, I'm going to go into... maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll go into Bone Hunters in the next thing, or I'll wait until I'm done the Night of Knives. Maybe that's the best way to do this. And, yeah. So that's my Laughin and Lyin stuff. And I am going to put something here. I'm going to rename it. And then you guys can start talking about Bone Hunters and stuff. But thanks for doing this. And I hope you're enjoying this. And I'll talk to you soon.